very early in the morning. Hindi pa kami nagbe-breakfast, but this is Komiket without the ingress. Hello guys, welcome back to the Marz Today studio. We just got back from our trip to Bacolod. That was a whirlwind. It was such a fun experience to be outside of Metro Manila for a change, and now we're back in the studio. We're kind of, reviewing what went down. Komiket Bacolod for me is just like this, the best of both worlds where I work. The Komiket market or the convention scene, and then the contemporary art world. It's just so much fun to have both collide in this one event. But it's the first time I got to go to Bacolod and meet some of the artists I usually write about. It's quite different meeting the people you write about in person, and it's lovely to have to put a face behind the name. So I just want to show you some goodies I got. So one of my clients actually dropped by. This is from Leo Studio. I actually produced washi tapes for her, so guess what she gave me? Her washi tape, which I also helped produce. So that's a bit funny, but I kind of had a hard time picking and choosing stuff because there's so many awesome artists. Like we had our night out eating chicken inasal, native chicken inasal. It's amazing. That's a pro tip right there. This is the only edition of Komiket where I got to bond with the artists, even Manila artists who I don't usually get to talk to, and that's a lot of thanks to Kara. Hello, Kara. That was her with a pink top. Moy Moy is one of the featured artists in Adobo magazine along with Daryl Ferril and Elwa Gonzalez. They were actually right behind me, hence the photos that you've been seeing of us, just hanging out, or me photobombing any of their photos. This is by Nina from J. Benitez Art. These are made by students from UP Cebu. Tag them if you know their artist names. So literal. Well, this sucks. Everything is under control. These are just some. I'm not gonna go all out, and I just really love these stickers by Moy Moy. So fun. So this pack is from Manila artists who are also in Komiket Iloilo. This is from After Thursdays. We have from KRVS Studio. Let's see, this one is by. Well, this is by Bunny Loose, also from Manila. I mean, I know Bunny. Orange Junkyard. Well, anything that has food in it actually speaks to me. Any stickers. This is my favorite. So my brother also loves this. This is from, once again, a collaboration print by Moy, Elwa, and Daryl Ferril, who is the artist who illustrated this edition's Komiket poster. But it came with freebies, so thank you Moy, thank you Elwa and Daryl. You're such pleasant table neighbors. Another table neighbor of ours is Start Small. It was run by Ruru and Erica, and I also don't get to hang out with them a lot. They're also based in Manila, but it was a nice 3 days of getting to know them and the art that they do. This one is from Evilville. He's still accepting applications, or Joa in general. Iwatero by Andy Gamboa, another one of the featured artists from Komiket Bacolod. This print of hers really spoke to me. I'm probably gonna hang it here in my studio. So Andy, thank you for your wonderful work. Please keep illustrating. This is going inside my studio. This one I haven't opened yet. Let's open it together. JP illustrates. This is funny because I always see these artists in Manila. We never really have the chance to fraternize, because in Manila, just the fact that you gotta go from wherever you're coming from in Manila and just go to the venue, set up, get to work, pull out, and get some rest, or whatever semblance of rest you can get, because we have crazy commute times. So I did mention I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons of doing a regional market, especially if you're just starting out and if you think this is something you want to get into. The number one pro is that, well, you get to gauge the market. If you're always stuck in Metro Manila, you'll always get the same kind of cliques and the groups that you would normally attract. Now, let's say, for example, you've always done conventions in SMX or in a mall, then you're typically drawing the foot traffic of the mall or of the convention center or whatever nearby establishments that are within that certain area. So if you're in Pasay, you're most likely attracting people who are based in Pasay. That's just something for you to think about when you kind of bring your pop-up in a new area. Number two pro is that new eyeballs. New people get to see your work. You get to hear new feedback. So it's a great marketing tool if you haven't reached the regions. And the third pro for me is that being in a different area, you're kind of compelled to, do all the touristy stuff, get a feel of the community, the neighborhood, even do a tour if you have the time. So if you're doing a pop-up in the regions and you want to maximize your stay, maybe you come in a little bit early or you stay a little bit longer after the convention or art market you're participating in, and you just enjoy and take in the community, the sceneries. Well, majority of us were staying in nearby hotels, so getting around isn't as bad as what we would have here in Manila. Okay, so for the three cons, well, one is, I'm sure people know what stamps are, but for them to see it in the art market, it's like starting from scratch. When you do introduce your wares, your stamps, for me, stamps, I'm in a market that's saturated with people who do prints and stickers. So stamps are something that are kind of unique to the eyes. It's really a process of reintroducing myself. I'm starting from scratch, and I've always taken this approach to, educating people about print and stamp making. Okay, number two con is that sometimes you will prepare for things that you think the market wants, and then you'd be surprised that that's not what they want. So case in point, my washi tapes are actually my best sellers, and they didn't move so much. That's all right. We're still testing the waters here in Visayas and in the regions if that's something they like. And I don't fault the customer for not buying that. That being said, related to con number two is when you do prepare for these cons, you have to bring a lot of extras. So you have to prepare for, apart from your travel expenses, you're going to incur extra fees for extra luggage. So the third con I felt or experienced during the convention is that you're not familiar with what facilities are available locally. So you're not sure about whether your customers have one product in order to enjoy product B. For example, I sell stamps, so that requires ink pads. And if the market doesn't have access to ink pads, that's a problem. I should be able to bring all the ink pad colors that you could possibly imagine for them to enjoy my product. That being said, I'm not actually sure whether National Bookstore or any bookstore actually carries more than one color except for the black ink or the purple ink. And that's something I actually didn't think about, but I did prepare for it. So I think that's one of the cons personally for me. But if you are, if you're already anticipating that you're going to be building up on this market, like me, my preparation for that was that I needed to bring stamp making kits. It's a bit priced on the higher end, and of course I'm not really expecting people to have that amount to shell out on the spot because they don't know what I'm selling. So it's just for me a good place to really introduce what I can offer to this new market. There are people who are interested but are not ready to buy just yet, and that's not a complete loss. It's actually great because I can actually talk about what I do and show them what are the possibilities of, using a stamp. Now that you know some of the pros and cons of doing regional pop-ups, just like what I did, that's not to say that I didn't enjoy my time. It's a lovely experience of being able to bring Marz today to the regions. I wish I had done Komiket Iloilo, but I can only produce so many stamps at one point. Maybe I'll do it next year. Maybe I'll be in Iloilo this year. If we could do this more often, like bring the idea of conventions really and art markets to the regions, because like what Kara said during her talk at Komiket, she really wanted to champion the art from the region. And I really firmly believe in that, because we go to these markets and we want to see the local talent, which is also what I felt was lacking, but it's completely understandable because even artists like Daryl, Moy Moy, and Elwa, I was speaking to them and they were telling me it's really the preparation of merch to sell. But when you're not equipped to, sell at such a short notice and you don't have an idea and you can't fill up a whole table. So that's always a challenge, not just for people from the regions, but even if you are starting to, monetize your art, that's always like a good place to start from, and there's nothing wrong with that, and we all have to respect the different places where each of us are coming from. Personally, this is my first time coming to the province to show my work, the stamps. It kind of reminded me of the first time I sold my stamps for the very first time in Intramuros. People had no idea what it was I was selling, and then I had to learn that, for them to appreciate stamps, I need to sell ink pads. So, chicken and egg kind of thing, but you will never know if you don't try. So I guess the main takeaway here is that if you don't try selling, you will never know if there's a market for it. But to be on the safe side, I did bring things like stickers, which is like the popular thing. It's like the safe thing to start selling. I had prints, digital prints, and I had a hand pulled print, which, by the way, I am very surprised. Sir Charlie Co actually bought the print that I had exhibited at the Marz printmaking center in PWU. I guess being in a smaller town like Bacolod really reminds me how tight-knit the community is. I guess we all get, motivation from people who really believe in our brands and just want to show their support just by showing up, and it means a lot to me. And coinciding actually with this event is the MoCaf, which happened at the Fairmont Hotel. I was also surprised because people actually showed up and they messaged me that they went to see my work that was hanging at the Pinoy Printmakers booth. It really warms my heart. I don't know, I'm operating now from, I guess, a full cup, and I'm just ready to pour myself in for the next couple of months, preparing for another exhibition. I guess that's all from me, your stamp making friend Marz is finally back in her studio in Quezon City. We will post dates for workshops in the next 2 months. We will be busy with workshops. You can do it here or at our partner Alliance Francais de Manille. This is your stamp making friend from Quezon City. Ciao!